Hey there everyone, it's Ryan, Frontline Animal Removal, and I'm up on the roof and I'm doing an inspection, but I want to point out some stuff to you. Sometimes people often ask me about animal droppings. What does this dropping come from? What animal made this? And over time you kind of get to know your poo. It's kind of a weird topic to kind of get to know, but certain animals tend to eat certain foods on a regular basis, and those foods don't always digest all the way, and come out through the backside. The undigestibles come out, and you can typically track what you're looking at. So I'm going to show you some poo-poo. Here we have a nice raccoon toilet up on a roof. So let's take a look at some of these turds up close. Now, if you look at that, those are seeds. Lots of seeds. A lot of these turds have seeds in them. So the fresher ones, it's easier to see. The older turds, not so much. Well, raccoons are omnivores, which means they'll eat anything. Because they'll eat anything, well, they will not pass up an easy meal. So what do they tend to go after? If you got mulberry trees nearby, they're going to eat the mulberries. If there's raspberry trees nearby, they're going to eat the raspberries. They'll eat apples, pears, any kind of fruiting berry, they'll eat. And most of these fruits have seeds in them, and those pass through the system. Not only that, but raccoons are notorious for eating bird seed. So when you see piles of poo like this, and you see seeds in the poo, that's a very good chance it's raccoon, and it probably is. Skunks are the same way. Skunk droppings look very much like raccoon droppings, except they're a quarter of the size. They're little tiny droppings. But just because you don't see seeds doesn't mean that there isn't from a raccoon. Because what else does a raccoon do? It eats cat food and dog food. Most cat food and dog foods are grain-based. And when they come out of the backside of your dog or the cat, they have a particular smell. Well, those same foods that the raccoons eat come out of the backside looking and smelling just like what it comes out of a dog or a cat. So when we're looking at the droppings, sometimes what looks like a dog dropping or a cat dropping could actually be a raccoon dropping, because they run around and they eat the food that we put out for the cats and the dogs outside. These things are smart. They know when and where to steal the food. The other things that we sometimes look for in the droppings, bits and pieces of plastic, because these animals will raid our trash bins, and they don't want to eat the plastic, but sometimes they get pieces of plastic in their droppings, and you'll see that in these piles that they make. Another thing that we find in the droppings, sometimes little bits and pieces of bone and fur, because they will feed on dead things. So when you see those droppings around the house, look for seeds. That's the big giveaway, that you got a raccoon hanging around. Lots of seeds. Sometimes bits and pieces of hair and garbage. So that might help you identify raccoon droppings. And another giveaway with raccoon droppings is this behavior. They find a spot and they just keep going over and over in the same spot. They do that on the ground as well. But up on roofs, piles of poo on the roof, raccoon.